Where will Micron stock be 12 months from now? In 2024, Micron stock has been, let's say, a disappointment, right? I mean, of course, if you did manage to sell the top, because at one point this stock was up 80+% this year, right? This stock was closer to $150 this year. Now it's back under $90. It's back under $100 billion in market cap. It now has a forward PE of just 11.3 times. Yes, just 11.3 times, because if you look at what the analysts are expecting this company to do, sales and EPS wise, fiscal 25 and fiscal 2026, insane growth. Of course, right now, the expectations are that in fiscal 27, well, sales and EPS should come down 3% for sales and 14.3% for EPS. We also know that Micron and other memory players are cyclical companies, but I think now with HBM, I think it's going to be a different story. So that's just my opinion. I think these fiscal 2027 figures are going to be updated in the next 12 months. But remember these numbers right here, because those are going to be important in the discussion of and maybe trying to answer where Micron stock will be 12 months from now. As you know, I had a small position in Micron going into the earnings report, completely failed. That earnings play did fail, but I might reopen a position, a small one, in the next coming days. I'll let you know in another update video. Now, before continuing, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if not, really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Currently, if we look at the average analyst price target, that still sits 48.6% higher than the price we're at today, and that's after the big drop in average analyst price target after the latest earnings report. Before, we were at $145.4, now we're at $131.7. Looking at some pricing metrics, and in this case we are looking at the 10-year mean, not the usual 5-year mean, because there was a period where there was no earnings and no free cash flow. So I want to look at the bigger picture, because when we're going to look at the estimates for fiscal 26, 27, 28, I would like to use a higher multiple when this company is going to be, well, generating billions of dollars in HBM. So we can see that the 10-year mean forward PE here sat at 18.7 times. Right now we're at 11.3 times. EV to EBITDA, price to sales, were about the same as the 10-year mean. Price to free cash flow, of course, we know this is in last 12 months metric. I don't get the next 12 months, but we know that next 12 months free cash flow is expected to grow quite quickly, as I will show you in just a couple of seconds. Price earnings to growth, just 0.31, extremely undervalued. And so if we look at free cash flow in fiscal 2025 is expected to grow by 2,647%. We go from, in the last 12 months, $554 million to $3.32 billion. Then in fiscal 2026, that's expected to more than double to $6.7 billion, but then drop by 24.4% to $5.1 billion in fiscal 2027. If we look at what has happened in the last couple of quarters when it comes to revenue, we have bottomed here March, June of 2023. Then last quarter we came in at $8.7 billion, but the issue was not the quarter, the issue was guidance. They gave us guidance of just $7.93 billion in revenue. The market was expecting $8.9 billion. They did say that the quarter after that and onwards should be much better. If we look at the split in revenue, we can see that the largest part comes from DRAM, that comes at no surprise, and the rest from NAND. Now looking at the analyst estimates, right, and then you get here the forward PE. So if we look at fiscal 2026, EPS is expected to be $11.53, giving this stock right now a forward PE of just 7.69 times. That is not high at all. Of course, we can also see that some analysts here, in this case 6 analysts, are expecting EPS to go down by 14.3% in fiscal 27 and then go down a little bit more to flat-ish in fiscal 2028, but then only one analyst, by the way, here in 28 and 29, that show us that EPS in 2029 is expected to be $10.74, meaning a forward PE of 8.25. Now, I'm not going to look at what one analyst is telling me 4 years, 5 years from now. So let's stick with fiscal 2026. If we look at fiscal 2026, we look at the forward PE that it gives us here. I mean, that's very, very low. So even if we do not use the 10-year mean, which was closer to 18 times. So even if we put here a 12 forward PE, a 14 one, right? We are going to be already much higher than the price we're at today just by increasing here the forward multiple because of the results that are expected. Of course, this is just playing with some pricing metrics. You can do a full DCF if you want. We can do a reverse DCF, although as we've seen, a reverse DCF will not show us a lot because, well, last 12 months, free cash flow was $550 million. And then in fiscal 2025, that's expected to be over $3 billion. So here in this case, a reverse DCF will just show us weird results. Anyways, moving on here and why I'm increasingly more confident in Micron, and I've been quite confident in Micron previously, is just the earnings play that did not play out. And that's because, well, if we look at the roadmap, in 2026, they expect volume production of HBM4. Now, currently we're at HBM3E, then we'll go to HBM3E 12 high, and then HBM4 12 high, and even 16 high, but that might be for 2027. The difference between 8 high and 12 high is basically this. This is what we've got right now, 8 high stack, and we're going to move to a 12 and then 16. 12 high stacks offer basically a significantly higher memory capacity compared to 8 high stacks, enabling larger AI models and more demanding workloads. I mean, these are going to be in NVIDIA products and probably AMD ones as well. The performance-wise, well, this is going to be increasing the capacity that could potentially lead to improved performance in certain applications as more data can be assessed and processed simultaneously. This also has a positive effect on power consumption. So while both configurations are designed to be power efficient, 12 high stacks may offer additional power savings due to their increased density and potential for more efficient cooling. They also told us the following in the latest earnings report. They have increased their HBM market total addressable market estimate to now exceed $30 billion in 2025, and they continue to expect to achieve HBM market share commensurate with their overall DRAM market share sometime in the second half of calendar 2025. They expect to generate multiple billions of dollars of HBM revenue in fiscal 2025. They expect HBM4 to ramp in high volume for the industry in calendar 2026. Development work is well underway with multiple customers on HBM4E, which will follow HBM4. HBM4E will introduce a paradigm shift in the memory business by incorporating an option to customize the logic-based die for certain customers using an advanced logic foundry manufacturing process from TSMC. They expect this customization capability to drive improved financial performance for Micron. So again, when I said at the start that yes, memory companies are heavily cyclical, I think HBM is going to change that completely. They also told us that Micron's HBM3E 8 high is designed into NVIDIA's Blackwell B200 and GB200 platforms. They continue to see positive feedback from their leading customers for Micron's HBM3E 12 high best-in-class power consumption, which is 20% lower than the competition's HBM3E 8 high, even as the Micron product delivers 50% higher memory capacity and industry-leading performance. They said the HBM market will exhibit robust growth over the next few years. In 2028, they expect the HBM total addressable market to grow 4x from the $16 billion level in 2024 and then to exceed $100 billion by 2030. Their total addressable market forecast for HBM in 2030 would be bigger than the size of the entire DRAM industry, including HBM, in calendar 2024. And of course, if they manage to take a significant share of that, I mean, the numbers that we are seeing today are of course going to be rookie numbers. So if we look at the stock right now, we can see that last week, or well, depending on when you're watching this video, the week of the earnings report, we can see that the stock did touch that uptrend line that started back here end of 2022, which is quite positive. Of course, we're still in that area where previously we have seen a little support, right, back in August, and here September as well. So let's see, maybe this area, $85, $90 or so, is a very, very good area to start accumulating shares. And then we're going to see what happens in 2025. Of course, we know that next quarter is going to be a weak one, but the focus will, of course, be on guidance. So to conclude, my prediction will be that Micron 12 months from now will be up over 50% from the price we're at right now. I'm basing this on, well, management's commentary, on the industry figures, and, well, we're going to be basing ourselves also on what their customers will be saying. Of course, we know that 2025, it's already sold out. Pricing is not going to change, so there's nothing that we can do about that. But the markets are always forward-looking, so it's going to be about 26, 27, etc. So what do you think? Where do you think 12 months from now Micron stock will be? Let me know down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, do all of that, and I see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.